I noticed something pretty interesting amongst three pink-haired women in One Piece: Bonnie, Perona, and Charlotte Linlin, otherwise known as Big Mom. All three of them not only have pink hair, but they're oddly Christian coded. Because starting from the oldest and going to the youngest, we have Big Mom. Big Mom was raised by Mother Caramel on Elbaf. Mother Caramel, however, is a nun who raised Big Mom and was essentially a orphanage in the form of the Lamb House. But then we have Perona. But what's so odd about Perona is that she finds herself in very Christian-coded environments, and she too wears a crucifix on her crown. But her adopted father, Gecko Moria, is a very vampiric-coded character who also wears a crucifix. But then the island of Thriller Bark is very Christian-coded because you have very interesting Christian iconography around the island, such as gravestones, and then there is a church. However, when Gecko Moria is visited by Bartholomew Kuma, another Christian-coded character, he paw pats Perona away to the Gloomy Kingdom. The Gloomy Kingdom is the home of Dracul Mihawk. Dracul Mihawk, much like Gecko Moria, is a very vampiric-coded character who is adored in crucifixes. He wears one around his neck, and his great sword Yoru is just a giant crucifix. There's also a giant crucifix on the island itself. So Perona is always surrounded by Christian iconography. However, moving on, we have Bonnie. Bonnie, much like Charlotte Linlin, was raised by a member of the Cloth, or presumably a member of the Cloth, as Bartholomew Kuma was a priest, and Bonnie was raised within a church. So all of that I find very interesting. However, like a church, I would very much appreciate a donation from you. If you could, please drop a sub by clicking the sub button, and drop a like by clicking the like button. And if you have the ability, could you please extend your hand and give me a click on that hype button? It's very much appreciated. However, on with our video. All three of these women represent these three states of a person's life cycle. So you have Bonnie being the youngest and being a 12-year-old girl, but then you have Perona, who is a woman in her prime, and then you have Charlotte Linlin, who is a mature older woman. But then rounding that back to Bonnie, Bonnie is actually all three at the same time, thanks to the powers of the age fruit. Normally, she is a widow baby and being a 12-year-old girl, but then she can mature and become a 24-year-old woman. And of course, she can replicate the visage of Queen Dowager Connie and look like a mature older woman. So I find all of that fascinating. And I think that's why out of all of them, Bonnie could be the most important one. And this might result in her being a main character in the future. We have to wait and see. But I thought that was really interesting, and I wanted to bring it to y'all's attention. But with that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede. What?